Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach. We are talking today about ways you can protect your money by making wise choices and avoiding common ripoffs. My guest this segment is Mark Green from the Internal Revenue Service. Mark, this is the time of year that people are working on their taxes, so let's talk about that.
Right.
And let's talk about how to pick a tax preparer.
Good question. And you know, this is right, just like you said, the right time to choose very wisely. That's the key word. Choose wisely. Choose someone who is credible, knowledgeable, accountable, but most importantly, make sure that he or she has a prepared tax identification number. Very, very important to have that. All pay preparers must sign a tax return. They should also give you a copy of that tax return. In addition to that, each line item on that return, you, the taxpayer, should go over with that taxpayer, because you, the taxpayer, are held accountable for whatever goes on that tax return. So, you know, it's really important to do your homework, to do your research, make sure how much the fees are when you go in. Make sure if there's a contract that the taxpayer has in front of you, make sure you look it over very carefully. By all means, if you have any questions and you want to know who to choose or to use, you can visit our website at irs.gov, where we have a list of credible tax preparers who have a prepared tax identification number. And it's very easy to get this information. Once again, just visit our website at irs.gov. In addition to that, you do have options. You don't necessarily have to use a paid tax preparer if you choose not to. We know that some people need them, and we understand that there are some really, really good tax preparers out here. Unfortunately, the bad preparers overshadow those. But we have several options, and of course we can discuss that if you wish, where individuals can have free service where they can do it themselves from the comfort of their home and cut out the middleman, if you will.
And I think this is really important for people to know that, like here in Georgia, if you walk into one of these tax preparation places, they may have that number to do your taxes, but they may not be a CPA. They may not be any. They may not have any training at all, other than just doing it a lot. And people don't realize that if they make the mistake and you get audited, you pay the price. Correct?
You're certainly correct about that. You know, anyone can hang out a shingle and say, "Hey, I prepare taxes," and unfortunately, we see this all the time. And unfortunately, these individuals tend to inflate the deductions and the expenses on individuals' returns, in some cases without them knowing about it, and they keep the rest for themselves. In some cases, we have had taxpayers where they've come back to us and said, "Hey, I was expecting this amount of refund, and I only got this amount," and the taxpayer's gone. Or in this case, the tax preparer, I should say, is gone. So how can we get in touch with them? So that's why it's really, really important that you do your homework. Choose very, very wisely who you choose to prepare your returns.
Would you say go with a CPA?
I would say do your homework. Whether it's a CPA, you may not need a CPA. Depend on the complications of the tax return. The options that we would ask you to take a look at is visit our website at irs.gov. Click on e-file, electronic filing. There's a free file program we have available. If you make less than $64,000 a year, you can file from the comfort of your home. You can cut out the middleman. You can save yourself time and money. Here in Georgia, 4.1 million taxpayers have taken advantage of electronic filing. As of this morning, 1.8 million have already filed. So we anticipate more and more individuals will take advantage of the electronic filing, the free services that we offer, whether it's voluntary income tax assistance sites that we have available. We have a partnership with the Atlanta United Way that offer that services all throughout the whole state. So there's a number of ways you can do is to save yourself time and money.
All right, let me see this, because you have this article here. Or this is an ad.
Oh, yes.
And let's kind of hold this up right here. What is this right here?
Yeah, this is kind of alarming. This is some of the things we see, and taxpayers actually send in to us. But this is a car company. It says free tax preparation, keyword, with a purchase of a vehicle. Now, we can't tell you where to go to have your tax returns done, but the key word here is that we will prepare your returns for free if you purchase a vehicle. And once again, that's up to the consumer. We strongly advise you to do your homework. We had another incident where here in Metro Atlanta, we saw an ad, or better yet, I saw the ad. A package store, liquor store said that we will prepare your returns and the first drink is on us. So I would say, be very leery about that. You definitely don't want to be intoxicated when you sign anything when it comes to taxes. And the last thing, the most important thing I would strongly tell individuals, I've seen this over the last 30 years, and that is never, ever, ever sign a blank tax return and leave it with your preparer, whether it's your CPA, tax practitioner, whomever. I've been doing this for 31 years. This is my last, I got 40 days before I retire here. And over 1 million returns I've filed, I've never ever asked anyone to leave a blank return with me with a signed signature. You don't do that, and you should never ever trust anybody to do it. So do your homework, be very wise who you choose, and remember your personal information is very, very valuable. And unfortunately, there are some shady tax preparers out here who will use that personal information for their own personal gain.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much for being here and giving us that advice. Good advice today from the IRS. All right, when public affairs on Peach returns scams that target immigrants.